Welcome back, everybody, to another Tips for Mortgage video series. My name is Mike Parkinson. I'm a mortgage broker in Campbell River on Vancouver Island in British Columbia. I'm with Dominion Lending Centers. This is my cousin, Jaden Bax. He's with Avenue Financial out just outside of Calgary. Morning, Jay.
Good morning, buddy. How you doing today?
I'm doing real well for a Monday so far.
That's good. Well, let's just see how well we're doing on Wednesday, eh?
Exactly. Speaking of Wednesday, our topic today is going to be about Bank of Canada interest rate hike coming here on Wednesday. So lots of consensus about how much it's going to go up. Is it going to be a 25 basis point hike, a 50 basis point hike? It's kind of a 50-50 prediction. That's what the actual markets are pricing in, about another 50 basis point hike altogether. But that could change. So we'll find out what if Tiff Macklem, Bank of Canada finance minister, if he's hawkish or if he's a little more dovish, saying that we're going to raise Wednesday, and then we're going to just watch and see, right? So at some point they're going to have to not pivot but pause and just see what's going to happen out there with all these rate hikes they had, because we already talked about this, Jay, about we haven't even seen the effects of most of these massive rate hikes into the economy yet. And if you look at the world as a whole, the world's really struggling right now. And these interest rate hikes, especially from every time the US raises their rates, it just destroys the currency of other countries, right? Especially the developing countries. See what's going on in China, Japan. So there's a lot of things out there that are not good, a lot of cracks that could really break, and then there's got to be a major change, right? They're not just going to let the economy collapse. So what are your thoughts on, do you think 25, 50, how far do you think they're going to go?
Yeah, I personally think we're going to see 25 and then maybe one more 25 in the new year. But like we were talking about earlier, I think if they do 50 now, this has got to be it, right? Like we're at the end of that cycle where they're pushing people as far as they can go, right? And like you say, we're just feeling the effects of that first 25 basis points hike from way back in the spring, and we haven't really felt the other 3.5% that we've had so far, right? So, I would say I would hope with our debt to income ratio that we have in Canada, that it would be only a 25 basis points hike, but we'll see. I just, one of the things I learned in 2022 is never to really predict with any sense of certainty what the Bank of Canada will do around interest rates, because they've been far more aggressive than I would have expected going into this year.
Oh, absolutely. And honestly, if you look back, our first hike in March was 25 basis point, which is normal. These 75, 50, 75 basis point, 1% hike there in July, that blew me away. Like this is not normal. They've never raised rates this fast, this quickly since back in the 80s. Remember when it went up to the 20% and stuff like that? Again, we're getting back to you remember, hey? You remember.
As a 1-year-old, it was very stressful for me at that time.
Yeah, I do remember that. My dad had a business loan and it was 26%. His mortgage was 20%. It was crazy times. But if you think back then, the debt load was way less than it is today. I think they said the world national debt is close to 100 trillion or something like that. It's just insane. Don't quote me on that, but I remember reading something about that. I know it's a lot. So the higher these rates are, you got to remember that everybody's got to service their own debts, the governments as well. So I think I agree with you. I feel it's going to be 25, but if it goes 50, then I just can't see much more after that, because I think they're going to have to pause and see. I'm sure they can see cracks. They're smart people. They can see what's going on out there. And the jobs numbers came in pretty well again. Inflation's still high. But I really think we're going to start to see things change slowly over time. And really, what type of jobs are those? In the US, they're really starting to see some huge layoffs, especially from the high up corporations, they're high paying jobs, right? Have you heard about that? With Amazon?
Oh, absolutely. And we're seeing it. So I was just out with a tech buddy of mine yesterday, and he's saying it's funny. These senior tech guys that are really kind of driving a lot of the economy in Alberta right now, aren't having problems getting jobs, but anybody junior or just out of university that has to be trained and things it's a tough slog out there. And so we have these highly educated people. Yes, there's jobs available, But do you want to go as a guy who has a background in some kind of tech? Do you want to go work in construction for the next year and a half? As a guy who's maybe just graduated as a geologist or an engineer, do you want to go work at in fast food for the next year and a half? So it's really I find those jobs numbers a little bit misleading because it's yes, there's jobs, but what kind of jobs and do they fit the demographic that we have here right now? I still think people are talking about maybe we'll avoid a recession because there's so much demand for jobs and we have really great job numbers and things like that. I think because of that we won't. There's a mismatch
Right.
between the skill sets of people and the types of jobs available.
No, I agree 100%. So, but getting back to what our thoughts are is like Jaden and I are pretty much on the same page here. I can see again, these are our opinions, right? We don't have a crystal ball. We're not telling you exactly how it's going to be. This is just what we know. We follow a lot of this behind the scenes that you guys probably don't read about, watch, on YouTube, follow financial analysts and stuff like that. These are just things, predictions that are coming out behind the scenes. There's a lot going on that they don't tell you. So I think a possible 50 max, and I feel still that this time next year we're going to see lower rates, and actually fixed rates, longer term fixed rates have been coming down. So the bond yields have been dropping for longer bond yields, but still short term fixed rates are fairly high. So still a good strategy. We still like variable rate mortgages, but if you're not comfortable with that, have a conversation and talk about shorter term fix so that we can get on a financial plan that's going to save you money long term. So what do you think about
Absolutely,
that, Jay?
and yeah, absolutely. And I think we talked about the difference between a variable and an adjustable
Yeah,
last week. That true variable with static payments. Now is probably a good time to lock into that if you want kind of the payment certainty, along with the ability to potentially take the benefit of lower rates as rates what we think will start lowering again next year in the variable space, right? So
yeah,
lots of different options. I think the important thing is to talk to somebody you trust. I'm talking to clients right now who were working with another broker who said 5-year fixed, 5-year fixed, 5-year fixed, and that was the end of it all. The 5-year fix is a great product for some clients, but it's not for everybody. So if you're reading these things and you're seeing kind of the same stuff as we are, and you want to talk about what is the difference between what I'm getting with the 5-year fix, a 3-year fix, and a variable or an adjustable, we're happy to break that all down for you.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, one product is not perfect for everybody. You got to sit
Yeah.
down and figure out what your financial plan is and look at your options and actually understand your options. And that's where we're going to try to really help you guys out moving forward with this. So we hope you enjoyed this video. We'll keep you updated. So December 7th, Wednesday is when the next update is. So watch for that. And if you really enjoy this video, or if you know anybody that would benefit from this, please share. And if you have any questions, get a hold of Jay or myself anytime. And we're happy to help you out. Hope you had a good day, and we'll see you soon, Jay.
Yeah, talk to you next week, buddy.
Thanks.